Welcome to Dateline Polk with news about your county government. I'm your host, Connor Updike. Today you'll learn about County Commission actions from the June 21st board meeting. County Manager Jim Freeman delivered good news to the board in Polk County Fire Rescue Tuesday. Polk County Fire Rescue was awarded a $1.4 million grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency for the purchase of nearly 200 self-contained breathing apparatus equipment. This equipment is worn by firefighters who enter hazardous conditions and need to protect their respiratory systems. The county units were about 11 years old, and more than 80% of them require significant repairs to be compliant with current safety standards. As part of the conditions of the grant, the board approved a cash match of about $143,000 toward the purchase.
The department had applied for a FEMA, Department of Homeland Security, Assistance to Firefighter grant, which we were awarded for the replacement of all of our self-contained breathing apparatus, which are utilized by firefighters when they enter a hazardous environment such as smoke, toxic gases, and the like. Our current units that we have in place now are over 11 years old and are aging out. They do not meet the current level of standards. They are still adequate at this point, but they are getting close to the end of their life cycle. This grant was very timely. The total amount of the grant was $1,579,900, of which the county had a 10% match, which amounted to a little bit over $143,000. That was approved by the receipt of the grant, and the transfer of funds internally was approved by the County Commission today.
The board approved a consultant service authorizations for the hiring of Hayes & Sawyer PC, which will provide engineering services to upgrade the supervisory control and data acquisition systems at Polk's water production facilities. The work by the firm is not to exceed $190,000 for design, bid phase, and construction phase services for the project.
The Commission approved a contract today for not to exceed $190,900 to Hayes & Sawyer for SCADA improvements. And SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System, something that automates the control of the utility system. We have between 20 and 25 plants that need these SCADA upgrades to further automate them, and this reduces the number of trips by personnel, and it improves our flexibility and our reliability.
In other news, Tuesday's Commission news continued with honoring longtime employees and volunteerism in the community, which included the presentation of service certificates to 6 county employees for their dedicated service to Polk. Those employees included Donna Purvis, a secretary in the county manager's office for 30 years of service. Jay Jarvis, director of roads and drainage for 25 years of service. Eric Phillips, a utilities infrastructure information supervisor for 20 years of service. Eric Peterson, a principal planner in land development for 20 years of service. Jesus Jesse Guajardo, a customer service account specialist in the utilities division for 20 years of service. Clifford E. Kip Dollar Jr., a foreman in the utilities division for 20 years of service. Christine Diaz Pagan, commuter services director, presented county staff members with volunteer recognition certificates for their contribution to the Polk County Commuter Services Day and National Bike to Work Day. The board proclaimed July as Lakes Appreciation Month. Paul Thomas, president of the Lakes Education Action Dry Board, accepted the proclamation.
Today we received a proclamation from the Board of Commissioners proclaiming July to be Lake Cleanup Month. And this is part of an effort that was put forth by the North American Lake Management Society many years ago. And LEAD picked it up, talked to the county, 25, 30 years ago, and We've been pushing it ever since. It's public education, trying to get people to recognize the value of our lakes, not only recreationally, but environmentally and socially, and to try and clean them up and leave them a little better for the next generation.
The board approved Karen B. Guffey as a member of the Housing Finance Authority to serve a 4-year term, starting June 21st through June 20, 2020. Guffey was nominated by Commissioner Melanie Bell. In public hearings, the board approved a resolution to adopt an inventory list of real property owned by the county that is appropriate for use as affordable housing. The resolution also declares surplus property and authorizes the public sale of 6 of the county-owned properties. The first public hearing to change the sale hours of alcohol in the county to 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Sunday also was heard during the afternoon session. Final action will be taken at a public hearing on July 5th. During the second public hearing, the board approved an amendment to the Land Development Code to allow a change in hours for outdoor loading and unloading in the North Ridge Selected Area Plan in Northeast Polk. The loading hours will change slightly to 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. In the first public hearing, the board took no action in considering an ordinance to amend the Land Development Code for soil manufacturing, which would change its definition so it is not considered a solid waste facility. If approved, the amendment would also add soil manufacturing as a Level 3 review conditional use in industrial and a Level 4 review in phosphate mining districts. The board adopted a large-scale comprehensive plan text amendment to amend the land development use categories in Policy 2.132-B.3 in the Ridge Special Protection Area and Green Swamp Area of Critical State Concern, which requires activity centers to only be located at the intersection of an arterial and collector road. In another approval hearing, the board approved a large-scale comprehensive plan map amendment to change the future land use designation from conservation core to residential low on 54 acres of land in the US 27 SAP and Critical Area Resource Management Plan, along with a text amendment. The board adopted a resolution to grant special powers to the Point Siena Community Development District, along with an ordinance for the Point Siena West Community Development District to plan, establish, acquire, construct or reconstruct, enlarge or extend, equip, operate, and maintain additional systems and facilities for parks and facilities for indoor and outdoor recreational, cultural, and educational uses. The board voted 4-1 to transmit to the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity a large-scale comprehensive plan amendment to change the land use designation on nearly 34 acres from Business Park Center to industrial in the Transit Supportive Development Area, which is in East Lakeland north of Main Avenue. Commissioner Smith voted not to transmit the comprehensive plan amendment. Also, the board heard first reading of a related Land Development Code text amendment to place conditions on the site. The board will consider adoption of the comprehensive plan amendment and approval of the Land Development Code text amendment at a public hearing in September.
Hi, my name is Todd Vargo. I'm a senior planner with Polk County's Land Development Division. Here are a few cases that were heard at the June 1st, 2016 Planning Commission meeting. The modification to Plan Development 10-01 was to add a hotel to an existing commercial and residential development. This development is located on the southeast corner of US 27 and County Road 640 northwest of Crooked Lake. The location of the hotel is planned to correspond to the black star on the graphic on your screen. The Planning Commission voted 5-0 to approve the case. Comprehensive Plan Amendment 16D-03 is a request to change 15 acres on the Warner Southern University campus from residential medium to institutional 2 in order to construct new dormitories for the college. The site is outlined in a dashed yellow line on your screen. The Planning Commission voted 5-0 to recommend approval of the case. The case will be heard by the Board of County Commissioners on August 2, 2016 for a first reading, and a final decision will be made on October 4, 2016. Comprehensive Plan Amendment 16D-06 is a request to change 422 acres from residential low to leisure recreation. This property is located west of US 98, south of the Polk Parkway, and east of Lakeland Highlands Road. It is commonly known as the Sandland Golf Course, but there is some additional property included in the request as well. The subject site is outlined in white on your screen. The Planning Commission voted 6-0 to recommend approval of the case. The case will be heard by the Board of County Commissioners for a first reading on August 2, 2016, and for a final decision on October 4, 2016. If you have questions about these or any upcoming cases, please contact our planner on call at 863-534-6084. For Dateline Polk, I'm Todd Vargo.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Dateline Polk. To keep current with programs in progress in the county, visit us online at polk-county.net or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We encourage you to join us at the next scheduled board meeting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, July 5th. I'm Connor Updike. Thanks for watching.